Madrid is frequently rated as one of the best cities to live in Europe, but how is it really to live there from day to day? One thing is to come there to visit as a tourist. A completely different thing is to stay there and live there long term. In this video, I will show to you how is it to live in Madrid based on 8 categories that are usually used to rate the life quality in some place. So I will start with life costs, housing, and then I will also mention the other parameters like safety, healthcare, green surfaces, and so on. So stick with me. And before I continue, I will address the elephant in the room. I am in one village in the Pyrenees Mountains in the north of Spain. I first wanted to record this in nature, but because it's raining, the weather is bad. This is the best that you and I can get right now. And one more thing, don't forget to subscribe because it really means a lot to small creators, and you are going to be regularly updated about expat life, moving, everything that comes with relocation, but also life in Spain. We start with the cost of living because this is a very important category. And what is important to know about Madrid is one of the most expensive cities in Spain. On the other hand, Madrid is not so expensive as some other big European cities like Paris or London. You can still find relatively affordable places in Madrid, for example, to go out to eat something, especially in some neighborhoods that are not really the tourist places. Also, when you look at the prices in general, grocery prices and transport prices are not so high, but salaries are generally low compared to some other bigger cities in Europe. If you want to get some idea how the costs of living are going, for a single person who is sharing a flat, let's say the minimum cost would be around 1,000 euros per month. This is very budget living. If you are a single person renting your own flat, maybe even having your own car, the prices will go from kind of minimum 1,700 euros per month. And then for couples, the monthly costs go around 2,500 euros. Then for families with children, the minimum cost would be around 2,500, but more realistically around 3,000 euros. And the minimum income in Spain in general is somewhere around 1,100 euros. So for this reason, so overall, it's expensive to live in Madrid compared to the rest of Spain. For this, I was thinking about a bit lower grading, but just because it still is cheaper than many big European capitals, I will say that it's 7 out of 10. Next point, housing. This is one of the most challenging points and the biggest shortcomings when it comes to life in Madrid. It's difficult to find a nice flat. Many buildings are old, the isolation is bad, and the prices skyrocketed in the last couple of years. If you want to rent a flat, you need to have a lot of documentation prepared where you can prove how much you earn and where in general you get the money from, and that you have a stable income. Even with all of this, the flats are going away from the market very fast. Just because of these high prices of housing in general, it's not uncommon that people are sharing flats. To this, I give rating for 4 out of 10. Third point, transportation. This is probably one of the biggest strengths of Madrid. The public transport network is well developed. There are buses. There is a huge metro network and many metro lines. Metros are coming frequently. Buses also more or less. They're generally reliable. There is even a light train. There is a connection between all of the parts of Madrid, and it's generally cheap. Apart from that, Madrid city is generally walkable. There are many routes for walking, of course. For this reason, I give Madrid a rating 9 out of 10 in this category. Safety. Safety in Madrid, I would say that given the size of the city and that many people live there, that there are many neighborhoods, I would say that overall Madrid could be considered safe. On the plus side is that you can walk in many parts of the city, feeling in general completely safe, even at nights, of course, with some reasonable awareness and precaution. What is on the downside, and what I would warn people about, that yes, there are robberies, especially at touristic locations like bus stations, train stations, metro stations, touristic localities like Puerta del Sol, for example. There are many robberies, and you have to watch after your belongings the whole time. Apart from that, I would say that Madrid is generally safe, and for this, I will give it rating 7 out of 10. Number 5, healthcare. This is a bit tough one. General public healthcare in Spain is considered pretty good. What is on the downside? If you don't have an emergency, but rather a regular appointment, in the public health system, the things are going to go a bit slow. So you're going to wait for your appointment for quite a while. And if you want to have some procedure, then of course it's much faster to do it privately. What is good is that public health system and also private are considered generally good, and public health system is generally available to the residents. To get reasonable health care, it's basically free. The downside is that the waiting times for not urgent things with public system are quite long. And for that, I am giving it a rating 8 out of 10. Climate. There are many good things when it comes to climate regarding Madrid, and not so good things. Let's start with the positive. Winters, I would say that they're quite mild in Madrid, and there is no much snow. There is not even, this winter was quite rainy, but in general, there is not even much rain. The only problem when it comes to winters is the isolation in many flats is pretty bad. And then sometimes inside you have a feeling that it's even colder outside than it actually is. And it's generally difficult to warm it up. When it comes to flats, another thing that you need to keep in mind is that not all the flats that are out there for renting have the aircon. And this you are really going to need in summer. Summers can be very hot. Temperatures over 35 degrees are actually common, and rarely there are summer days with over 40 degrees. For that reason, I would say that climate can be rated 7 out of 10 because of too hot summer. Social life and lifestyle. This is one of the Madrid's and generally Spain's strengths. Many people are actually moving to Spain and Madrid because of the lifestyle. In Madrid, generally the pace of living is slower as in other big capitals of Europe. It's also, there are a lot of things happening. Like there are events, there are a lot of museums, exhibitions, whatever comes to your mind, you can find in Madrid. Also, finding your circle of friends or social circle in general is not so hard, because there are a lot of people who are foreigners. There are a lot of Spanish people who just came back from abroad, or who just moved from some other parts of Spain. You can always meet people who speak very good English if you cannot speak Spanish yet. And you can meet people, even I have a circle of friends predominantly from Serbia. So yes, you can find people from all over the world. And of course, there are a lot of bars, there are a lot of restaurants, there are cuisines from all over the world, and places are generally open until very late in the evening. As I said, this is one of the strengths of Madrid and Spain in general. So for this reason, I am giving it grade 8 out of 10. And the last category, green spaces and environment. There are a lot of parks in Madrid, especially a little bit in the outskirts of the city. Could be greener. Madrid is not one of the greenest capitals in Europe, but there are quite a bit of green surfaces. The most famous one is El Retiro Park, but there are many other parks. There is also Casa del Campo, which is in the south of the city, which is also a very green, big area. Another thing is the air quality. It varies depending on the days. Of course, sometimes it's bit poorer because of the traffic, but the city actually did quite a lot in decreasing the traffic and the cars that can enter in the most central zones of the Madrid. Like they had to be a newer, more recent types of cars. So to improve the air quality, and I think it's done quite a lot in that area. And I would say that for this big capital, as Madrid is, the air quality is quite okay. Another thing is that the cleaning generally of the city could be a bit better. Sometimes there are not enough trash bins, or I don't know what happens, but neighbors sometimes leave their trash on the street because there is not enough space in the trash bin. This could be improved. And for this reason, I give it a grade 7 out of 10. I did some calculating, and the final score of Madrid would be, in my opinion, also based a little bit on Googling, but mostly my opinion would be 7.1 out of 10. I would like to conclude that Madrid is a very nice city to live in. It's generally clean, safe, accessible. Prices could be, and housing could be improved. Relation between prices and the incomes could be improved. If you are a social person who likes to go out, who likes to meet people, who likes places where something is happening all the time, Madrid is a great place for you to live in. People who prefer a bit more quiet areas with a lot of green areas, with a lot of nature around them, Madrid maybe is just not the best place for you. This is it for this episode. Write me your opinion. How would you grade Madrid within these categories? Or which grading overall would you give to Madrid? Also, write me how Madrid compares maybe to some other cities in Europe and places also in Spain to live in. I would love to hear your opinions on this topic. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you a lot for that. And also, if you like this video, if you know someone who is thinking about moving to Madrid or who just arrived to Madrid, send them this video and like it, comment. Also check out my other social networks, especially Instagram account, Dunya in Spain. And that's it. See you soon. Bye.